It's funny because a lot of people were saying that exchange was giving them divorced parent vibes, listening to Trump, and you call him dad. You're not the only one. The NATO Secretary General called him dad, too, in this exchange that just came out. Here it is, SOT 23.
They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
Daddy has to use a strong language.
I was joking around. I said, so imagine being at NATO, right? These are all just like bureaucratic, technical, very European educated professors. You know the type, right? They're very like focused. They're very German in the way they present themselves, very orderly and organized. And they overanalyze everything. So they're preparing for Trump's arrival at NATO. And they see Donald Trump on no sleep go to the sticks, dropping the F-bomb. I'm mad at Israel. I'm mad at Iran. And I'm coming to NATO. And these NATO guys are probably like, oh, my goodness, what are we supposed to do with this? Just give him whatever he wants. I mean, this guy is on one. Because, look, we hold all the cards.
Charlie, you can kind of see them coming along, though. Can't you? Can see the second piece of that, which is like, I'm kind of into it. Wait, I'm starting to feel a little inspired. You know what? He might be onto something.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing is that over time, you know, Trump really kind of wins you over, right? Because the world's a dangerous place. And, you know, Trump has a very, you know, he has a rhetorical genius to him. Not everyone quite understands it. But deep down, Europe is like, wow, you know, we're being invaded by Mohammedism. We're being, you know, Putin is invading Ukraine. We have the Chinese threat. Maybe this guy that talks but also delivers a big game, he's the best hope for the West. And I totally agree with you. You can start to see that in 2017, 2018, when Trump went to NATO, there was scorn and there was like, who is this guy?
Yes.
And how do we get rid of him? How do we cleanse ourselves of this filth? Now it's kind of like an admission. It's like, this guy's in charge. The Western world acknowledges that America holds the cards and we want to be successful. We want victory. And again, for President Trump, just the reconfiguration of the attitude of NATO has been one of the most striking things to see of Donald Trump's entire career.
He truly is winning. He has a winning mindset. He has a success mindset. He has an abundance mindset. And that can be very intoxicating. You know, if you spend enough time around it, you start to see possibilities that you didn't see before. And it's funny to watch it happen even with these NATO guys who, like you point out, loathed him very, very recently. Here's Trump. He's speaking now and said the following on Iran. As you know, we carried out a massive precision strike. Very, very successful. It was called obliteration, which is funny. That's how it was called that by him. No other military on earth could have done it. Now we've paved the way for this historic ceasefire agreement. It's the 12-day war. We think it's over. I don't think they're going to be going back at each other. I mean, that's what's so extraordinary. What may have happened on Saturday night is the entire Israeli conflict may be over now. The 10-7 response may be over now. They've basically obliterated Hamas, substantially, if not entirely, obliterated Hamas, and then brought it up to Hamas's sponsor, Iran. And now, if there's a real ceasefire here, that war is over, and all that remains is to get the hostages back and figure out, you know, just the small matter of figuring out what's going to happen with Palestine. I mean, there's that. Yeah, but really, President Trump doesn't have to do that.
No. He doesn't have to do that. I would like to see an end to the war. No one likes all this killing in Gaza. Look, I'm pro-Israel. You're pro-Israel. I'm on Team Civilization. But these are people made in the image of God. I don't like to see them, you know, scattered. I mean, we want to try to have wealth and abundance and prosperity. There is a serious problem. A lot of them are incredibly radicalized, and the big tell is no one in the Middle East wants them. Jordan doesn't want them. Egypt doesn't want them. Saudi Arabia doesn't want them. They're kind of a people without a home, and they're an unwanted people, which is really sad because I guarantee you there's like young kids that have done nothing wrong, of course, in that, you know, couple million group people. So they got to figure that out. I have no idea what to do there because the old model of you just have this hot box of terrorism and it bubbles up. It's unsustainable. It's bad. It does not work. So there has to be some sort of brokering there. But that's not President Trump's job, right? He's the president of the United States of America. What he should do is try to broker a settlement, bring the hostages back, end it, and say, look, you know, you guys got 90 days, try to figure this out, but we're not taking any refugees. We're not doing any of this, you know, we're Islamic importation of it into the West, but we got to figure it out. But most importantly, though, is that President Donald Trump, as you could see, he wants to try to get all the focus on our hemisphere. Hemispheric hegemony is part of his MAGA doctrine. Okay, we'll solve Israel-Iran, we'll solve Israel-Gaza, we'll solve India-Pakistan, we'll solve Russia-Ukraine, and then come back to our hemisphere. But one of the most important foreign policy goals that he has is Panama Canal and Greenland.
Yep.
We joke around about those two. They're incredibly important from a geopolitical standpoint, from rare earth minerals to trade to international waterways. That's far more important, by the way, than what we're seeing, in the Middle East right now for American future. And basically, and by the way,
President Trump did not manufacture this Middle East conflict. Like this wasn't like he came in and said, "Let's do something in the Middle East."
It arrived on his doorstep.
This is foisted upon him. This is him handling a crisis that was unforeseen. I'm sorry, but like a boss. Go ahead.
No, I completely agree. That's right. He handled it like a boss, and he didn't want it to last long, and that's what I love about it. I mean, on one hand, you have Dick Cheney, who's like, oh, Iraq might have weapons of mass destruction. Give me 500,000 troops, 8 years, and $2 trillion, and I'll find out he doesn't have them. Donald Trump says, oh, Iran might want nukes. Give me 12 days, like 30 pilots, and, no troops on the ground. What a contrast, right? And President Donald Trump is able to get done in 12 days what, Dick Cheney and George Bush, it took them 10 years of nation building, and the Iraq War will go down as one of the greatest disasters and mistakes in the history of our country. But also, right up to our own country, remember, on the first day, President Donald Trump signed a declaration, a proclamation, I should say, that did not get a lot of coverage. He designated the cartels as a foreign terrorist organization. That means in the eyes of the American government, the cartels are indistinguishable from Hamas and Hezbollah, as it should be. And so President Donald Trump wants to focus on our hemisphere. He wants to have more focus on the cartels and less focus on Iran. So he's trying to get these things done in the first 6 months of his administration so that he can then have all the remaining 3.5 years on our hemisphere.
We are days away from what has been dubbed by some the Rio Reset, what some worry could be a threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in over 80 years. On July 6th, BRICS nations, that's Russia, China, India, and Iran, and some more, are expected to unveil their plans to circumvent the U.S. dollar, thus cratering, its value. Some report that they've already been laying the groundwork as their central banks have been methodically divesting from the U.S. dollar and U.S. bonds in favor of gold. How can you protect your IRA or 401k from the fallout from this landmark shift? One option is to diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which is right now. Get a free info kit on tax-sheltered gold IRAs by texting the word MK letters to 989898. July 6th could mark a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP. Arm yourself with information to diversify your retirement savings. Text MK to 989898 and claim your free info kit from Birch Gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.